the very best. He's the rootinest, tootinest cowboy in the wild, wild west. Woody's Roundup. Hey, y'all, come on in. You're here on a great day.
We are off to the Wild West today with Yulay.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be out there during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why? Come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends hanging out from all over the world. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to talk about Cravate Noir from Happyland Studios, a slightly masculine-leaning unisex blend of amber, smoked patchouli, black pepper, vanilla, bergamot, and violet leaves. Think YSL tuxedo, amped up in all the right places.
Yeah, y'all, Happyland Studio often starts with an homage in the middle and then builds out, augments, even makes better, and I love this one. It doesn't go as deep and spicy as some of the others, but I love how it plays with the lights without going crazy citrus.
Yeah.
What do you think of this one?
It's funny, it doesn't get as gourmandy, if that makes sense. Like, it's using everything in this in a new way. To me, it's a little more dressed up than some of the other ones from them, but it's super enjoyable.
Tuxedo dressed up. And what is our soap today?
We have Wild West from Monica at Yulay, which is pretty cool because it's part of a whole Wild West series. And she was so sweet to include this in our last shipment for us to review for free. I'm excited to get to know some of these other ones. There's 18 in the series. I cannot wait to meet them all.
Well, y'all, put on your boots and spurs and let's go meet the soap. All right, y'all, from the sales page at vanyulay.com.
Wild West through the eyes of Mark Jones. We have sagebrush, whiskey, leather, dirt, patchouli, and cigar smoke.
Vanyulay makes a Crope shaving soap. It is not a cream nor a hard puck. It is in between soft and hard. Oh, there's a joke here, but I'm not going to make it.
Giggity.
And y'all, if you have never seen a Vanyulay Crope made into a lather, you are in for a treat, especially when you see the pour, because it's not poured, it's piped. Let's open the box. Now, if an artisan is kind enough to send us a soap to review for free, we bump it up in the schedule. These are the two we bought, so these are coming attractions. What are these?
So, Broken Roses, Gorguts, one of our Whiff Pack members, referred us to this one, so I'm saving it for Halloween because that label, my friends. And then this one, our friend Barry, a Texan shaves, his daughter helped refer this one, Blackberry Magnolia.
But today, y'all, today they're going to bury us not on the lone prairie. Oh, with this lovely stylized label for the Wild West. Come along for a first impression. So, y'all, it is my theory that every red-blooded American male has a soft spot for both barbershop and Wild West colognes. And I am not sure why, but I am so excited about this one. I don't know how they turn all of those dirty sounding scent notes into something as beautiful and characteristic as a Frontierland scent, but it's happened before. What do you think this one's going to smell like?
Well, it's funny because I'm reading those scent notes earlier and I'm like, they sound pretty masculine, pretty cowboy-esque. But knowing it's through Monica's nose, I'm even more intrigued to see how those paint an actual picture.
Right, some florals in here. And we do know while she lists 7 or 8 scent notes, she uses 200 on occasion. So who knows what might be happening here. All right, here we go. I'm going to saddle up and take a first impression.
Please do.
Oh, it's a beautiful. Look at this, like the top of a cupcake. Beautiful. All right,
I feel like we need to be wearing cowboy boots or hats or something.
I think time moves slower for Monica. She just gets so much done during the day. It is awe-inspiring. All right, here we go.
That was fast.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Hold on. That's nice because it's 80% Frontierland and 20% real and slightly squinchy like the real Old West should be.
I get it.
Hold on a second.
I kind of thought she might go that route. I'm curious.
Nice. Oh, it's how the sweets and the herbs are playing together like a barber pole in here, and I almost see a dirt devil in my imagination. They are moving around each other so fast and beautifully in this. The sweets are what are doing the magic. Hold on.
What are the sweets? Can you tell?
Something earthy, something in the tobacco, something in the soil, something in the smoke. It's done naturally, which is partially why this is so intriguing. And the sense of just a large wooden empty room, like a bar is about to move into this little western town, but they've gotten the room ready ahead of time. Wow, a little bit of dust in the air, bright streaks of yellow sunlight through the windows, and the entire thing, boy, does she get her colors right. The entire thing looks like these colors in my brain. Beautiful. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
It's sundown.
I was going to ask.
That is twilight. I could hear your brain wondering about that. This is where the cool winds of night are sweeping through the town and giving a chill to the desert. If you have ever spent time in the desert, it gets freaking cold at night. Even Las Vegas counts. And I know all of these notes, but they are in forms that are not the most familiar forms for my brain, which is cool because when you're out in the Old West, you are on a little bit of alert. I have camped in the Salton Sea and things like that in California. This does not lull you into a sense of a comforting gentleman's lounge. That would be way too bougie for this town. This town still has an air of danger. This town still has a doctor that'll treat you for toe foot.
What was the Brady Bunch where they go to the West? I feel like you're painting that
It's kind of that. It's the ghost town with Jim Backus, and he steals the fried chicken from Alice.
Or like a Scooby-Doo episode? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the Minor 49er. Remember that episode, Scooby-Doo? Scrappy-Doo is bad enough. What was the name of that, like, gray dog that they added to Scooby-Doo that clearly had something wrong with him? And this doesn't go rich. This hits the ground. This doesn't put me on like a big pillow of spices and tobaccos and vanillas and things like that. No, this is far more real. I can even sense the sagebrush. I can sense the dust on the ground. Like, this is wild.
Is it more like a rugged feel? Like it's transporting you there?
Glad you asked that. This might be a surprising answer. No.
Okay.
No, I don't get this as like a rugged sense. I get this as both a very real sense and a very dapper sense. Like, this is setting the scene. Okay. This is like when I walk onto the stage when they've just built the set and it's incredibly detailed and I just get to feel like I'm somewhere else for a while as I explore it. When I did Tarzan, they built us a tree that was 5 stories tall on stage and the monkeys could climb all the way to the top. It was insane how real like it looked and felt. That's what this is doing for me. And there is a floral. Just to pat you on the butt and say goodbye. There's a little bit of a Bulgarian rose or a little bit of violet or something from the barber down the street just to let you know that this town's got a barber. Hold on a second.
I think I remember reading leather. Is it a warm leather? Is it a, like what? Because there's different versions, you know?
No, I only get like the suede from the seats of the stagecoach as it's going by. This is not like a barber strop leather. This is not like a black leather sense. This is a smooth red leather kind of an idea going on in here. And subtle, under the surface, 5% of what's going on here. I would not say this is leather centered. And then the interesting thing is when you take a step back, if you were to ask anybody, is this a Wild West scent? They would all, across the board, say, definitively, that's what it is. But here's the thing. If you didn't tell them what direction to go in, I don't think they'd identify this as Wild West. I think this is a beautiful, rugged, wearable, masculine scent with lots of surprises under the surface. And only if you're really told what it is would you go, oh, yeah, I can see that. But y'all, it was not meant to be an actual representation of that town, but one from your imagination that is how you would dream this town smells. It's really funny. I have a cologne that smells exactly like Coca-Cola from Dua. Y'all, it is precise. On the set notes, it even says, brand name, Coca-Cola Accord. And when I had her dad smell it, I didn't tell him what it was. And he said, oh, it's nice. Musks, citrus. And the thing is, he's absolutely right. But as soon as I said Coca-Cola, his brain went tick, 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 tick. Oh, of course. And then that's all he could smell.
Right.
But before I had said that, he was exploring a whole different world of everything that's going on inside Coca-Cola, which is a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what this is. If you don't know this is a Wild West scent, it's beautiful, masculine, light, intriguing, and in a way, just as floral as it is everything else. Hey, y'all, Mark Jones, Monica, another home run, y'all, and I can't wait for you to smell this and get it from a female perspective.
Yeah,
I'm kind of curious.
Because I was even looking through what's in this series, like I mentioned earlier, and I think there's an homage to chaps, which is funny because you used to wear that, but that's like a lighter side. That doesn't go like how you're explaining this one, it sounds like.
That was my jam. in the little bottle with the silvery top, you know. And you know what I loved about your grandpa? When I went in the bathroom, there it was up on the shelf. Ah, kindred spirits.
All right, off to the Wild West we go. Does it smell like any of our other ones that have a little hint of a Wild West that we've opened so far?
No!
Okay.
No, but there is a little fingerprint in there that lets me know this is a Monica creation.
Okay.
I think all perfumers do that. I think all musicians do that. I think all artists do that. But then find me one that's not the other two, right? All right, here we go. Take it in and see what you get.
Oh, yeah, that pour. I forget every time. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. It's not a white sage, but it's in that family. I don't remember what I read, but that's helping me know, like, location identified. Somewhere that's helping speak desert to me. Yeah. And then it goes a little warm, but not hot. Like, you're right. I think the sun is setting, but you can still see the sun, like, kind of like on this image here. I think I'm getting like a whiskey thing. Like you mentioned the wood of the bar. I feel like someone just opened the saloon door and I got a little whiff of like, oh, that's where the party's going.
I got a sense of a big empty room before they moved in all the furniture, like when the Old West was new.
I guess I used to do a lot of catering events where you'd be cleaning up after the party and you'd smell the residue of the party, even just the old beer and that kind of stuff. So to me, when I think bar, sometimes my brain goes that side versus the beginning of the evening, which is where we're at now.
Yeah, beer's one of those things that smells fabulous off the tap and horrible the next day.
There is some kind of a incensey herb thing that I don't know if we've ever smelled before. It's used in a super cool way. I'm not sure exactly, but it really adds to kind of the bougie but rugged side that you were talking about.
Bougie but rugged. Mm-hmm. That's a great band name, Bougie but Rugged.
There is a woodsy thing at the back I'm getting now. And it's not quite charred wood, but it's been there a while.
There's some smoke in there.
What you said, how these colors are all you're seeing, I completely agree. It's not that it's not got depth to it, where sometimes that screams multiple colors to me, but I do get like this kind of brown, tan, suede-y, clean.
Right.
But it has that Wild West charm. Like almost I feel like I should be wearing a plaid shirt and some jeans and some boots, but like they're cleaner. I haven't been working all day. Maybe I'm ready to go out with this dude. I don't know.
And would you agree? This does not smell like Frontierland at all. Aces Over Eights by 345 Soap smells deliciously and exactly like Frontierland, like a theme park version of the Old West. And y'all, Disney goes to great lengths to perfume that scent when you're actually there. This is not that. This is just as beautiful, but this goes for authentic rather than caricature. With Monica's fingerprint, still has a wisp of whimsy in it, but y'all, this is more the real thing.
For sure. I feel like I could jump into any of the movies that talk about the Wild West, any of like old Lone Ranger stuff, whatever, and it would smell like this because I'm being transported to that real location, wherever the movie sets were and everything. Like there is something real. I can smell the cold dirt. I can smell the wood around me. I feel like I can hear it under my boots crunching. Like there's just something different of being transported. But I have to say, if you walked by somebody wearing this, I don't think they would necessarily know right away, like you said, that it was completely Wild West. Right. They would get a fun character smelling this. Like I really get more of the person in the location with this one. Sometimes we just get the place, but I think the leathers and the other stuff are making me know that it is more the cowboy in the Wild West.
You know what this smells like? This smells like the guy in Back to the Future 3 who said, if you don't meet him in the street, everyone, everywhere, will say that Clint Eastwood is the biggest yellow belly in the West. It smells like that guy in that room. I think he was even in Blazing Saddles.
Oh.
The guy that hands the gun to Doc and Marty at the shooting gallery, that's the guy from Blazing Saddles. And this guy, this extra, this is George Firth. He's a playwright. He wrote the book to the musical company with Stephen Sondheim. I'm not kidding. And then he went and did Blazing Saddles. I'm hit with this beautiful wall of Western florals on the way in the door. And I don't know how to explain it because they're super masculine. They're the farthest thing from like an old lady floral scent you could possibly imagine. But they almost give the sense of an Old West powder on the way into a barbershop. Does that make sense?
Interesting. Yes, I would agree because we opened Desert Rose from this series. And that's a different side of the desert to me.
Speaking of Gorguts.
Right? But that has florals all over it. But that was not the first thing that I wanted to say when I took a whiff, which is so weird.
And she put every rose she had into that one. Beautiful.
So it's interesting that you're getting a floral off of this. I was getting more the herbs, the spices, like a sagey kind of thing, like the dried herbs are what's in here, which I don't get as much of the floral, but something's keeping it in that light tan kind of color. So there must be something a little sweeter. But I feel like we've done the best we can do. We should maybe go look back at those sentences.
All right, y'all, back to the sales page at Yulay.com. We start with sentences of.
Oh, okay. Sage brush. I'm proud of myself. I forgot reading that. But I knew it wasn't like the normal sage. So that's why it's a sage brush. Interesting.
And then, while I normally sense the spicy part of a whiskey, that's not what I'm getting in here. I'm getting the alcohol-y, fiery part of a whiskey. A whiskey that's on the moonshine side of things, so that when it hits you hard. And even the most hardened cowboy is going to make a face. That whiskey is in here. And I love how it's bringing together the dirt, the patchouli, the smoke, with the naturals, with the sagebrush.
So, and it does list leather here, but it doesn't say what size. So if it's more the warm side or if it's more of that darker, ruggedy side, whatever it is, it's somehow adding a dapper effect to this.
Speaking of chaps, it's probably just chaps. All chaps are assless, right? Like, that's the definition of chaps.
Right? Is it maybe just the spices in the whiskey, but next to whatever's in the cigar smoke that my brain was getting, like all those herby kind of things?
It's a sweet smoke. It is almost a combination of a tobacco leaf and its own smoke with a lot of herbs in there. It's not like the cigarette smoke that you might be expecting at all. But yeah, I could totally see how those would form a little do-si-do. And the patchouli, y'all, if you fear patchouli, it's probably the quietest note in here, and it's the cleaner side of the patchouli that almost borders on ginger. You're safe.
I can tell from the whiff here that it is a cigar smoke. It's not a campfire.
Right.
It has its own different kind of scent to it.
Yes, not Cade at all. Ooh, there's an extra little bump of soap here.
We're taking the bump.
So, y'all, at the very beginning of our journey, we saw Mark Zarati on the Monday morning mailbag using these custom resin bowls from Yulay, and we wrote to Monica immediately. Well, a week later, these arrived from deep in the heart of Texas, and we have loved them ever since. So what you want to do is gently push the soap into the honeycomb sides of this bowl, and trust me on this, make as thin a layer as you can, because what you want to do is pull the soap up onto the bristles as fast as you can at the beginning of your lathering process. So it's going to look a bit like that, and then I'm going to hit this with a little bougie. I'm going to actually wet the soap and then let the rest of the water run down to the bottom, and just about the time it starts to threaten the dog, that's probably enough water. Now, her soap is on the thirstier side, so don't worry. This is my new Herald brush from the Razor Company, and it's purple. How did I not use this today? All right, so we're going to go forward, but the brush is dry, you say. I know. It's getting a little bit of that water that we sprayed onto the soap, and that's all it needs to start inviting the soap onto its bristles. And you know what? I'm going to revisit something I said at the very beginning. There is something a tiny bit squinchy in this. There is something a tiny bit pokey in this, but I think without it, it wouldn't give you the sense that you were somewhere real. That would be the beginning of taking you back to a frontierland kind of sense, and that's not what this does.
I think it's the whiskey side I'm getting. There's something in there that I'm like, okay, I know where we are.
I think this brush might be a particularly good fit for this bowl because the backbone is incredibly formidable, and it's doing a great job. All right, I'm going to pick up the rest of that water. Y'all, look at this. Look at this. It just makes itself. It's got a little grippy along the bottom so you don't lose it.
Especially if you accidentally get some soap on your hands. You don't want these flying across the room. Although, they look pretty unbreakable, I gotta say.
Oh my God, you could drive a car over this, Uncle Rico. Oh, well, here is confirmation that this bowl and brush are not strange bedfellows. Beautiful leather. All right, y'all, this is something you will only find here on the Barbershop Duet, but this is the stagecoach passengers must share their whiskey with on 3. 1, 2. There's like 8 doors into this bar.
Wow.
If I look for the whiskey first, that shows me in. If I look for the smoke first, that's got me. If I look for the sagebrush, which is kind of prominent in here, and the florals, that's what opens the door. And all of them bring me to a slightly different place in the middle. This is wild.
Yeah, they're pretty close to each other, but something did wake up here. Like it blended a little bit more. Like it blended a little bit more. So I feel like this one woke it up in new ways, which I'm enjoying.
Oh, very nice. Look at that. We don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, but we thought you might like to see what it looks like when the leather coats the face. Oh, that's nice.
I think the booziness and the leather really kind of stay with each other throughout.
Right.
So that to me is what was making it a little bit more masculine. Not that it has to be, but if you're a fan of those things, that might be something up your alley.
This is fun. And I like it's not done with the darks. Nothing too potent, nothing too spicy is in this. Nothing tobacco-y or leathery in the traditional sense is under the surface of this thing.
It's interesting because earlier you mentioned sweets, and I'm not getting that as much here. But I can tell that it's still on the lighter type of a scent.
You're right. The herbs have kind of come together with the sweets to balance things out a little bit.
Yeah, but I still feel like the sun is kind of up. Like it's not completely
100%.
gone. So something must be keeping it a little on that lighter side.
4:30 in the afternoon, 5:30 maybe. It's the golden hour. And y'all, the poker game's about to start over by the piano. Let's take this down a little bit deeper. How is this different from the other Wild West scents that we have for you?
It's interesting because I think most of the other ones come off with like a dry side to it, if that makes sense.
Right.
Something about this scent is still warmer to me. Like you could wear it more all year round. I find myself reaching for some of the other Wild West ones more when it is actually like hot outside. And I want that fun escape with the reason it's hot out. Like I enjoy it more. This one has something, I don't know if it's because it's cooler at night to me or something coming out that the warmer colors are kind of keeping it on. It's still Wild West, but it's just a little different perspective.
How unisex do you put this?
I probably wouldn't run to wear it. But to me, it's kind of just tipping over to the more masculine side over here. Not that it has to be, but it is got more of that rugged, kind of rough around the edges, but also dapperness to it that kind of screams masculine.
I think this is our most unisex Wild West scent that we've got.
Buddy!
I didn't even know it would be possible, but I think this goes right down the middle. I think all those florals kind of give you the sense of the girls upstairs, and the rest of it is that barroom, but it's new. It's not like an Old West, dusty old scent. It's a brand new room when the Wild West was new and beautiful.
I think for me, it's more what I would put in a transportive category.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to necessarily know if it's masculine or feminine. I need to know where it's going to take me.
Right.
And that is going to take me to the Wild West.
Remember we took Mom to Placerville when she started to get kind of bad with the Alzheimer's? And that is a Wild West town. They still have a noose hanging over the bar. And then a Rocky Mountain chocolatier underneath that where you can get the candy apples. It's a little weird. But it still has that Old West feel to it. Nevada City does too, where Mom grew up.
Even just walking, like the streets have like floorboards, so they made that like kind
wooden
of
sidewalks.
clunky sound to it, you know?
And the Holbrook Hotel is there, still open, and Mark Twain spent the night there once. According to local legend, Bill Hickok died there twice. I'm not sure why the Wild West stories are so ripe for parody, but between A Million Ways to Die in the West and Blazing Saddles and The Three Amigos, are you kidding? 3 of the best comedies ever, and they all have horses in them?
Which this one is not a fan of horses on our TV. She will bark and ruin the movie.
In fact, when we took her to a parade and she saw her first actual horse, it did not go well. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just have a sweater wrapped up tight under your arm heading off to El Guapo's birthday party. And the first thing you're going to do is look for the singing bush, voiced by Randy Newman. You're going to chant the magic chant, fire a shot in the air, and summon the invisible swordsman who will escort you to El Guapo so you can get your own. So head over to Yulay.com where you'll find this and all kinds of other stuff I want. Well, I have had my shave, y'all, with the Wild West. And you know what I've decided? We alluded to this a little bit in the episode, but the more I've gotten to know this, the more I'm pretty sure I'm right. Y'all, this is how the Old West would have smelled when it was brand new, when the wood was just cut down to make the saloon, and all of Main Street had kind of a sheen, a shine to it. Beautifully warm, herby and musky, but making you feel put together for a day on Main Street. And isn't that the goal? Thank you, Monica, for this. Welcome to Messages.
So for our August giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to Ariana and Evan.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to we sent you at thebarbershopduet.com. Mention Ariana and Evans. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first September episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
It's really pretty.
It is. There's fun sides to it. Like,
It's really pretty.
I want to say rugged in the best of ways. Like, I'm not saying that in a bad way at all.
No.
Like, it's not rugged, worn in. No, it does speak cowboy to me. Like, they're not trying to make it anything else. The Wild West is for sure in your whip.
It's really pretty. And Monica and Yulay, thank you not only for making some of our absolute favorite bowls, but for believing in our little show and sending us out this to review for free. We sure believe in you.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.